we are just finishing the lesson that we did on Friday. It's the Cain and Abel lesson. So I am going to do like a recap before today so that you guys are all caught up. So since we got a new person on here today, I'm just going to read the full thing today. So K and B stands for Keep Me Blessed. That's the name of the community. It's for people to gather, grow in their faith, and serve each other. My goal is to get people closer to God and their true purpose in life. I believe that everybody has gifts and purpose. And yeah, so that's pretty much the goal. And then also K and B are my initials as well. So every Monday and Friday, we will have a Bible study session at 7 a.m. with this same exact link. So you will also see butterflies a lot everywhere. Butterflies pretty much symbolize transformation, rebirth, and personal growth due to its metamorphosis from a caterpillar. Its life cycle reflects the process of change, growth, and new beginnings, hinting at the thought of leaving behind the old and embracing the future. A butterfly also represents freedom, lightness, joy, and the appreciation of beauty and grace. So, like always, we will start with our affirmations. I move with softness, intention, and love. I am guided by God's divine wisdom, not the noise of the world. My steps are ordered, my mind is clear, and my spirit is at peace. I am a child of God, chosen and deeply loved. I am an heir to his promises, and all that is meant for me finds me with ease. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, crafted with purpose and intention. I walk in unwavering faith even when I cannot see the full path. I trust that everything is working for my good. God fights on my behalf, and I am always protected. I am a survivor. I beat the odds. Every challenge I face strengthens and elevates me. I rise with resilience, courage, and confidence. I live a life of abundance, prosperity, and overflow. My resources are limitless because I serve a God who created everything. I lack nothing. Everything I need is already aligned for me. I walk boldly in my purpose, anchored in faith and guided by truth. My life reflects God's goodness, and I am grateful for all that is and all that is coming. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, sorry. Okay, so like I said before, we are going to recap Cain and Abel. So I'm going to just read the story again. This is from Genesis 4, verses 1 through 6. So it says, Adam made love to his wife, Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, with the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man. Later, she gave birth to Abel. I'm sorry, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to get somebody else on the call. Okay. So Adam made love to his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, with the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man. Later, she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now Abel kept flocks, and Cain worked the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord, and Abel also brought an offering, fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain, his offering, he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you don't do what is right, sin is crouching at your door, and it desires to have you, but you must rule over that. So remember that. Remember that verse, verse 7. Now Cain said to his brother Abel, let's go out to the field. While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, where is your brother Abel? I don't know, he replied. Am I my brother's keeper? The Lord said, what have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened his mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. But the Lord said to him, not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over. Then the Lord put a mark on Cain, so that no one who found him would kill him. So Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. So just again, we see a couple of things that I have highlighted. We see that Cain was very angry because the Lord looked on favor on Abel and his offering, but rejected his offering. So then we kind of look to see, well, why did God accept Abel's offering but not Cain's offering? And we came to the conclusion that it was heart posture. Like Cain wasn't giving to God with the correct heart, or he didn't come to him with the correct heart posture. So Abel, he brought the best of his flocks to God, and Cain, he just kind of brought some that was left over, like, the leftovers pretty much. And it was like, well, God is the maker of everything. He gave you all the stuff. He's your creator. Why are you giving him the leftovers? So we can kind of spend that to our own life. So if God is supposed to be the center of our lives, why are we kind of just thinking about him as an afterthought? If he gave us all these things and he continues to he continues to give to us, why are we kind of just like treating those things that he gives us as it's nothing, pretty much? And then also the verse, if you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it. And it's kind of the same thing as like flee from temptation. Like if you do what's wrong and you know it's wrong, but you continue to do it, of course, sin is literally waiting on the other side of you, and it literally continues to manifest and grow over time the more that you engage in the things that you know you shouldn't, pretty much. But if you do what is right, you don't really have to worry about it as much, if that makes sense. And then also we see that when we do stuff, and then we do have to face our consequences. It says here highlighted, my punishment is more than I can bear, which is really like when God does turn away and he leaves us to kind of sit in the mess that we created and kind of figure it out. It's like that's a lot for us. Like that's too much. Like, no, we don't want that. But then we don't think about that when we're in the midst of doing things that we ain't got no business doing, pretty much. So, and then lastly, it says that the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who found him would kill him. So that also just shows God's divine, his mercy and his grace. So even when we do mess up, even when we do slip up, because we are not perfect, we are not meant to be perfect. God knows that we aren't. But he still, of course, we still have to go through, the consequences of our own actions. But he's always there to redeem us, because that's where he gets his glory from, the redemption. And he loves to redeem us. So he will always be there to pick up our slack, pick up the pieces, and just bring us back to him. So that was a quick little recap. We talked about that, the intent of the heart. But I do want to kind of talk about this again before we go into the discussion questions. So I'm just going to briefly reread this. This is where we left off on Friday. So I hope that y'all are still with me and not sleep, because I know I'm doing a slow recap, but we are going to get into the questions in a second. So it says, Cain's anger blinds him to God's warnings and prompts the first murder in human history by killing his brother Abel, showing the dangers of harboring bitterness and giving into destructive, unrighteous impulses. When offense is at work, you get very angry when you are corrected. You get very angry when you are told you have to wait. And you get very angry because the response you expected was not the one you received. You will also know that you're being attacked by offense when you think someone has wronged you, yet you don't do what is necessary to change the things they or God asks you to do. To be carnally minded means that you are always thinking selfishly. You only want to be crowned by people but not chastised by God through people. You hate being told you're wrong about something and you bug up against what you are told. You think you should not be corrected by the leadership or also asked to change, but be still used just because you got a little bit of results. With offense, you focus so much on the rising of someone else that you start to feel hatred towards them. You become resentful and you try to kill them, whether physically, verbally, their reputation, or even their purpose in God. Which was a good point. I'm going to read that again. You become resentful and you try to kill them, whether physically, verbally, their reputation, or even their purpose in God. Every offense is a spiritual scandal against you that comes from the kingdom of darkness. Offense is the stick or the bait of the trap they've set for you. You usually don't see offenses as the bait right away. Being offended is getting caught in an entrapment, which happens because of your own personal bias, traditions, cultures, or even your own carnal way of thinking, rather than what the word says. Most of the time, when a person is plotting evil against someone, it's either jealousy, envy, pride, or offense. Offense is dishonorable because it is absent of love. Therefore, you cannot experience honor in a long life if you are offended. Offended people spend a lot of their time attacking those that they are offended by, but they don't realize that they're cutting their own life short. All right, now that we got that out of the way, I hope y'all are all caught up. So, Romans 8 5 through 8 says, "Those who live according to the flesh have their minds set on what the flesh desires, but those who live in accordance with the Spirit have their minds set on what the Spirit desires. The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. The mind governed by the flesh is hostile to God. It does not submit to God's law, nor can it do so. Those who are in a realm of the flesh cannot please God." I thought that was really good. And this also goes back to that whole self-discipline thing. Are you just doing whatever, not thinking things through, just living in the moment, constantly doing things for the plot, you know? Or are you actually thinking about your actions before you do it? Thinking about what will happen, the consequences that are to come, or what will be the outcome. Is it good? Is it bad? Things like that. And also, just because you think it don't mean that you have to act on it as well. That's where that discipline comes in at. Proverbs 6, 16 through 18. "These are the things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil." So I have a few questions. Of course, like always, I'm going to read all 3. You can answer 1, 2, or 3, or all 3, whatever you're feeling like. But I do want everybody to get a chance to answer. So, and then when you're ready, you can always use the raise your hand tool, and then you will have the floor. So, wake up. Number 1, what does genuinely healthy anger management look like to you? What is the difference between hiding anger and managing it? That second question was really good. When is a time that your own anger or irritability caused unintended harm to you or someone else? Would you say you are generally easy or difficult to offend, and why? I'll start and then somebody else pick up. I'll start with number 3 because I kind of already talked about this on Monday. I say that I do get offended easily, and that is something that I am working on. I don't know, I just feel like, and I keep saying this word because I don't know what other words to use, but I just feel like I'm easily irritable. Like, even the smallest thing, I just, oh my God, like, that just irritates me. So I don't know, like, I feel like another thing, I'm trying to not take everything too personally. Like, some people might do things, but it's not like intentional. They don't intend to hurt me, pretty much, or whatever the case may be, or offend me. And sometimes I take it to heart, certain things. So yeah, and I don't know why I do that, but that's something I'm definitely working on. And I feel like we were talking, and Marnie She not even on here today, but she was just saying a lot of good stuff even after the call. She was kind of saying like, I don't even know. It was just pretty much like she expects more out of people pretty much, and that's why it's like, and I think that's pretty much why. So I guess I do know why, because I was just really like relating to her. She was like she expects more out of people, and when they don't meet up to those standards, or like when they don't act how she would act in that situation, it kind of throws her off. And I'm like, yeah, I feel that too. Like that's definitely a thing. So I feel like I get offended when someone doesn't react the same way that I would in a situation, or handle it the same way that I would, you know. So, yeah. Does anybody else want to chime in? Go ahead, Mom.
I'll say that healthy anger management and not managing it and not hiding it would look more like not sweeping it under the rug. I know we also talked about how some people will be offended, but they don't address it. And when you don't address
Mm-hmm.
it, it kind of just builds up. So I would say healthy anger management looks more like addressing the situation, but in a more mature manner, like having a mature conversation about, or being able to talk about and articulate um, what the problem is without, going off or yelling or crashing out or doing something physical, just addressing the situation in a more mature manner. It can also look like, um, for me, addressing it with yourself, because sometimes with another person, you can come to a conclusion that either they don't get it or they don't want to get it. So sometimes addressing it with them, in my opinion, can be a waste of time. But that doesn't mean that you can't address it with yourself. Recognize what happened, why you feel the way you feel, and then do whatever you need to do for yourself to be okay with that. Um, I'm not really the type of person that would harm someone else. But again, I think how I would handle number two probably coincides with what I said for number one. Like just, maybe sweeping it under the rug, or not addressing it when it first happens, or letting stuff build up, or even, you know, just not addressing it and cutting somebody off. Like, you know what, I'm not dealing with this person. I'm not even gonna try to talk about it. Um, I'm just cutting them off. That's sometimes sometimes I feel like that could be the best way to handle it, but sometimes it's not. Um, but I would say I'm not really a person that is easily offended, though.
Yeah, you
Um,
don't be caring.
and I do, and I and I do kind of give people space to let them be themselves. Like I feel like we were just talking about expectation. When you understand who a person is, or I would say when a person has not proven to you that they are the type of person, like you're giving them more credit than they deserve, and they haven't even gained that from you. Um, I kind of just, I'm a very observative person, so I kind of sit back and see what a person is all about and let them be that. Like, I don't overly extend that credit to somebody who hasn't shown me that that's what they're capable of.
All right, go ahead, Malika.
Good morning.
Good
I
morning.
do agree with what you said, Kawana, all the things, but I want to address number three with what Kennedy talked about. I too am somebody, I guess it just depends on the situation. I can get offended easily, but I'm working on it. And I think a lot of it comes from my own insecurities. Like, I've always wanted to be somebody who is intelligent or and is viewed as intelligent. And then sometimes when someone steps up to correct you or say something, me, I'll take it personally.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it is something that I'm working on. I'm praying on it. Even in situations, sometimes I'll just have to step back and say a prayer, you know, just to ease my own mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you for sharing. Well, yeah, I definitely can see that. Go ahead. I think, wait, who else? Oh, did somebody raise their hand?
That was an accident.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, definitely. I can definitely see that. Um, Go ahead, Malaya.
I wanted to answer the last one also. I would say I'm not easy to offend just because I've been in a lot of situations where people would like try to intentionally offend me or bring me out of my character. So I've had to like learn how to, like how your mom said, accept people for who they are, but like really analyze like where they come from, their background, and like why they think the way they do, or why they can like why they feel the need to say certain things or do certain things. So it's like I don't know. I just learned to like know, okay, this is who I am. I know who I am. This is that person. So don't let like take what they say to heart. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, like I feel well like when it like she Malika said, like it just depends on the situation. So like for me, like if somebody says something like, like haters, whatever you want to call it, the naysayers, the doubters, like I don't really care about that stuff. Like that's like surface level. But like I don't know, like really what Marnie was saying, like when it comes to like a relationship, like whether that's like a friendship or any with my family or like whatever, like when we're in a situation where let's say that person did something, even if it's a small thing, but it's like I would never do, like it's like stuff like that, like that just like it just sends me through the roof. Like it just be like the smallest thing, or it's like the smallest thing that somebody would do, and it's just like why would you do that? And then it's like, well, they didn't mean it like that, or they didn't think, everybody. And then oh my God, sorry, y'all just had a revelation. But I was talking to my mom about that. Like, it's just about perspective. Like, it's just so crazy how people just literally have different perspectives. Like, y'all can be looking at the same exact things and looking at it two totally different ways. And I feel like that's where most of the offense comes from, or the bumping head comes from, is because it's like the way my mind works and the way I see this, you looking at it a totally different way. So I feel like because, especially when I'm dealing with people like my age, because I feel like I'm in like a different space in them in my life, like in my journey period. Like my life looks totally different from like the standard 21-year-old. Like it's just kind of crazy. But it's like when I be talking to them, it just be so different. Like it's just so different. So I just noticed that like, oh my God, we really don't see a lot of the same things the same way. Go ahead, Malaya.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I see more what you're saying now because I've also felt like, well, it makes me, I don't really get offended by it, but it makes me feel like isolated because I'm like, why am I one of the only few that like think like this or move like this? So that's where like it does kind of make me mad too. Let me not say that. I do get offended by it, but it's like I don't know. It's just crazy to me when you realize like common sense isn't common one, and
Yes.
then a lot of people don't like have the same values or like you know.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And even when it comes to that, like I just be trying to share, or I be trying to like, not really force my ways on them, but I'm just like, y'all look like, can't you see? Like, open your eyes. But like, people gonna move when they ready. People gonna get it when they ready. So it's not really my place to, you know, I can always share, but at the end of the day, they gotta want to do it for themselves. Like even with the Bible study, like you gotta want to get up in the morning and spend time with God. You gotta want, you gotta want to have a better life, or have better habits or discipline to be able to do X, Y, and Z. If you say you want to do this, that, and the third, but your habits are not aligning, that's something that you have to do on your own. I can't do it for you, and that's something that I be struggling with as well. But anyway, I don't know. Did we touch on what is the difference between hiding anger and managing it? Because I said that was a good question. Because I need somebody to answer that for me. Because I don't know. Because like my mom was saying, like I'm really like the type of person to, like when something does happen initially, well before, like now I think I'm kind of getting better at it. But like when something happens, I will literally not say anything to you. I'll just be like, oh okay, and like you said, like I probably would never talk to you again, or I was be holding that against you subconsciously, and that is not healthy. So I am like I don't know. So I guess a big thing for me now is communication. Like I feel like my communication has gotten so much better over the years, and that's what I like prioritize. Like especially in my relationships. Like if something does bother me, or if something does happen, to be able to communicate about it and move forward. And that's another thing that offends me. But because I've been working on that, and that's something that I hold to a high standard, because I genuinely believe that everything can literally be resolved with the conversation. I feel like communication is so important, and unfortunately, a lot of grown people don't have good communication skills, which that's why a lot of things don't work out. Whether that's relationships, and not just even like between boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and wife, but like friendships, business relationships, or whatever the case may be. Like so many things get like solved with communication, and I feel like a lot of people don't do that. So with me, that's what offends me as well. Like I just be like, okay, but why didn't you just say that? Like you could have just like I feel like you a simple text, call, like quick reach out, whatever it is, like you literally could have just said that. So communication is something that's really big for me. Um, I don't even know what was I talking about. The difference between hiding anger and managing it. How did I even get on that? I don't know. I should be talking, but yeah, that offends me, and I'm working on that. Oh, I said I was working on communicating when something bothers me. Okay, yes. Um, but other than that, I don't know how else to like. And then like she was saying, like pray about it definitely. But I'm not gonna lie. Like I need to pray in the midst of it, like Malika said, because I just pray after I'd already lashed out. So yeah, I gotta work on that. And oh, but I do like try to meditate, like calm myself down. Well, I calm myself after. In the midst, I don't know. So maybe one of y'all can help me answer this question. So in the midst, when you can tell that someone is getting you to that point, how do you calm down from that, or do you just like lash out or engage? What happens? What y'all got to say about that? Go ahead, Malaya, and then Mom, you can go after her.
I would say this is something I'm working on too, but it does kind of depend on the situation because I don't like people to see me crash out or to see me react. So definitely in the moment, I'm gonna hide it until I get like with somebody who I'm comfortable with or like really myself because like your mom also said, it's sometimes better to like deal with it on your own versus talk to somebody because they could reinforce the crash out and like make it worse or like kind of change how you would respond to it. So I like to pray about it and then meditate because that's to really get my thoughts flowing and like really think about the situation. And then I'm like, okay, why did this make me angry? Why did I react like this? And like, how do I go forward with that situation? But then also, it's like I do try to hide my anger sometimes when it's like I've already told you, like I've explained myself on why I feel how I feel about that, and you're still doing it. So it's like I'm not gonna keep repeating myself. So I don't know. I have to find the balance in that too, because I feel like I still should be communicating, but then it's like I'm not gonna keep repeating
Yeah, no,
myself.
yeah, I def. That's one of the reasons why I didn't used to even say anything at all, because it was like you know better, bro. Like I don't have to tell you this stuff, but like you said, common sense is really not that common, and it's really sad. It's really crazy. So it's like, did they really not know? Like I don't know. Now I don't know, child. Go ahead, mom.
Okay, I feel the same way that Malaya feels. I think that it is a difference though. Like when you notice someone is intentionally trying to make you angry, and when somebody just don't get it, Um, Based off my observation, I handle those two different ways. Like she said, like if I see somebody is trying to provoke me, and this may or may not be healthy. Like to me, that puts me in competition mode. Like okay, so if you trying to anger me, I'm gonna be as calm as I can be because since I know that's your goal, I know that my calmness will piss you off. So at that point, it becomes I guess a back and forth. That don't really sound healthy, but it
It's
is
not
what it
healthy.
is. Yeah, it is what it is. If I see somebody trying to piss me off, I'm gonna be as nice and calm as I'm gonna be the opposite. Um, that's just how I handle people trying to intentionally provoke me. But when I see that people just don't get it, I do try to be patient with them. But like she said, it's only so many times you can explain it, and if they're just not getting it, that can be frustrating. It all boils down to self control and emotional discipline, which is a process in itself that I'm definitely still working on. But I think that's basically what it boils down to. And it comes with maturity. So it's not something that just happens overnight. And then it's also different depending on who you're talking to. I mean, a lot of us could probably agree that we'll have more patience with a person depending on who that person is or who that person is to us. But you are supposed to have those patience and that emotional maturity and self control in every situation because it boils down to you and who you are and the person that you're trying to be. But I would definitely say it's a work in progress.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. This one got a lot of questions on it because I could not choose, but of course we don't have to answer every single one. But this will be our last slide anyway. I did all that recap for the new people. Then one then left. Y'all ain't even talking to me. Like, what's going on? Anyway, next time y'all gotta watch the replay. Jealousy and resentment. Cain's downfall begins when God accepts Abel's offering of his best sheep but rejects Cain's offering of his leftover crops. Instead of addressing his own attitude, Cain obsesses over Abel's favor, demonstrating how comparison and envy can quickly spiral into hatred and destruction. So, I'm going to read all of them. Do you agree with the observation that jealousy and envy often stem from dissatisfaction with your own circumstances and an hyper focus on others? 2. When you feel jealous or resentful, what core insecurity, fear, or perceived lack of your own is being triggered? 3. How do factors like social media, societal expectations, or comparison culture fuel these feelings for you? What steps can you take when you feel these emotions rising? 4. How have feelings of jealousy or resentment affected your relationships or caused unnecessary conflicts? 5. How does coveting another person's success cause you to deter from the plans God has for you? 6. What would it look like to turn envy into joy by honoring someone's accomplishments and thanking God for their diligence? And then 7, what should have been Cain's response or attitude? How would this change have affected his life differently? Would have been the outcome? Oh, all right. I know that was a lot. What are you guys thinking? I kind of wanted to start, but I wanted to talk about. I don't think that I'm. Well, I don't say I don't think I'm not really like a jealous person. Honestly, I don't even be looking at other people. Like I don't even pay attention to other people because I am so focused on myself. Like, and I mean that in the most humbling way as possible. Like I really don't see other people when it comes to like quote unquote competition. But like at one point, like y'all know I've been in the business game for a long time. Like when I was in grade school, I used to sell cosmetics and accessories and stuff like that. And I was doing that throughout high school. Like I've been doing that for a long time. And I remember during COVID, when I first started going into clothing because I was mainly focused on cosmetics for a while and then I kind of shifted. But when I started to get into clothing and then like COVID happened and everybody was doing the online thing and then the online businesses were booming. And I remember like it was so many people trying to start businesses. And I'm like, and I'm talking to my mom, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm getting flustered. I'm like, now they want to start businesses too. And then they selling the same thing I am. Like, like everybody doing the same thing pretty much. Like, how do I know that people are gonna buy my? Like, it was just a whole thing, and then she just kind of kept reassuring me that like what other people got going on, that don't got nothing to do with your calling or your business or your gift or your relationship with God. You know what I mean? And that was something that after that I was like, okay, yeah, you right. Like, and then she was like, the ones who really stick with it, it's gonna you're gonna be able to see like the ones who fall off, like that wasn't serious, it was just a little thing. But the ones who are serious about it, and this is for them, they're going to have that foundation, like we always talk about, and you're gonna be able to see it, and they're the one that's gonna be able, last. So I'm like, you know what, that's true. Um, whatever, whatever. And ever since then, I kind of just like I remember that. So it's like now, like when they say like, oh, you don't want to start this business because it's so many other businesses, but like when you walk down the bread aisle, it's so many different brands, but they're all still there. Like somebody wants this one and somebody wants the other one. You get what I'm saying? Like it's always gonna be something for someone, and there's so many people in the world that you don't even have to compete or yeah, you don't really have to compete because it's like it's enough money to go around. You get what I'm saying? And like now in that space, because I'm actually trying to pick up my, rebrand pretty much. It's like a whole different name, a whole different thing, a whole different concept. But as I was in the midst of like structuring my business again, I'm just like, I was just thinking about that in the back of my head. Like this is like literally what God has called me to do. Like he broke it down, he revamped it, he restructured it, and now it's like literally coming full circle, and everything in my life is literally connected. I feel like so I'm like, you know what? This is literally from like I know this from like I know this from God. I know this is what He wants me to do. Like I'm helping others as well. Like with this, like this is for me. Like I don't care if somebody take my same exact designs and like I don't even care because I know that since this is from God, He's gonna bring the customers, the people, and all that and the third. So I do feel like coveting another person's success can cause you to deter from the plans God has had for you, because when you are focused on somebody else, you're not able to see what God is doing in your life and how God is using you specifically in your life. Like on the outside it may look the same, but at the end of the day, you are only it's only one you, and you bring something different and new to the table. So what can you bring to the table that nobody else can bring, that nobody else has? And it's something with everybody, and that's again what I'll be trying to shed light on with this community as well, that everybody is special, everybody has their gifts. So yeah, go ahead, Malika.
Um, excuse me. I love what you said about using that analogy about the bread aisle and how there's so many different brands. And but what I really got out of it was remembering that God is our resource, and if He is leading you, like you said, it's enough to go around. It's enough money. It's enough business to go around. We all bring something different to the table. And then also I wanted to talk about what would it look like to turn envy into joy by honoring someone's accomplishments and thanking God for their diligence. I kind of want to put a twist on it. So, you know how we were talking about, like the question above about, wanting what somebody else has? Instead of looking at what they have, I always try to remember what God has done for me
Mm-hmm.
and turn that into being happy for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Just like I have my own insecurities, they do too. You may not know it, you may not see it. So I'm always trying to build somebody else up, you know, because it's like I want to be able to share that with others. So that's where I am with number 6. And again, thanks for sharing that analogy and about the business and things of that sort, because I'm kind of in the same boat right now.
Yeah, and that was a good question. I'm glad you answered that because I feel like with me also, like I said, I'm not really a jealous person. So when other people win, it honestly it make me like, especially like our people, like oh my god, like when I see somebody just make it or they do like their story is just so amazing. Like I be wanting to give them their flowers because it's like okay, if God did that for you, I know He could do that for me, and that's also what I want to kind of be able to make other people feel like oh my god, God did that for her, like so I know it's coming for me pretty much. So it's always good to honor people, give them their flowers because yeah. Go ahead, mom.
You and Malika pretty much hit it on the head. Like I love what both of you guys said. That's pretty much what I was thinking and my feelings toward it. Um, but just to add, as far as number 3, I use my social media in a positive way. Like I put things on my feed that inspire me to be better.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't necessarily go on social media and feel envious of people that have or that have accomplished things that I haven't. It's very inspiring. So it's the complete opposite for me. And it also allows me to keep going because like you guys said, like if God blessed them with it, if they can do it, then I can do it. So it's more so an inspiration when I see other people doing well and see people winning and seeing that they've already been able to accomplish the things that I'm still working on, especially like health wise and when it comes to fitness. To me, it's just very inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love being inspired too. But I don't get like some people. I don't know. Maybe like that is like an insecurity. Like if they do see other people doing good or even better than them, it's just like a like I don't know. It just do something to their spirit. But I love being around people who are where I want to be because it's like you said, that inspiration. Um, Go ahead, Malika.
I just have one more thing to add. You said that you don't know what it is about people. Like sometimes they just get envious. We have to realize that there is evil in this world,
Yeah.
and there are evil people. Not everybody is of God. You know what I mean? So we just gotta, I don't know, just stay prayed up and continue doing what we doing as far as building people up, building each other up, and then inspiring each other.
Yeah.
Because
That.
I feel like life is hard enough. I don't need no extra evil or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that is true. That is, yeah, I feel that all the time. And even when it comes back to the whole spirit of offense conversation that we had, it's like that is a spirit from, you know, what was it? Darkness or something like that. Like those things, you have to pretty much fight it off as soon as you get in contact with it because they will try to take any little inch and take it real far and get you out of your element.
It doesn't really tie into the question, but I don't really struggle with jealousy or envy. For me, it's really just comparison, but I know comparison is the thief of joy, and I know that I have my own path to walk on. But for me, it's just comparing me with other 21-year-olds or really other people that are in my life and feeling like I need to be doing better. And just starting to build up those habits. But yeah, I don't really struggle with jealousy, just comparison.
Yeah. Cause one thing about you are, when I be telling her like my plans and my vision, she be like, oh my, like you're a good friend, girl. She be so happy, and I love that because you do need people like that around you that like motivate you, and like support you. So, but with the comparison thing, I actually did want to touch on that like social media topic as well because I feel like another reason why we or young people especially like we compare ourselves to other people or we feel like we got to quote unquote compete like oh I have to wear this or I have to look like this or I should be doing this or I should have my own place or a car like I feel like social media is very toxic in a sense but like well like my mom said if you prioritize like you know, or change up your algorithm, that's one thing. But at the end of the day, I do feel like social media can be very toxic, and that's another reason why I do take breaks from it pretty frequently. But when it just comes to that, it's really hard because on there, it's like everybody is like competing in a sense. And even like lifestyle or like when it comes to relationships, like it really be the phones because we should not have access to all these different people, all these different things. So you think that your life should be different, or you think that you have to talk to a whole bunch of people, or you have to wear this, or be dripped out in this, or be or and oh, that's another thing that offends me. I'm not even gonna say offend, irritates me. Like trends, I hate trends. Like every time somebody wears something, everybody gotta wear that same exact outfit, that same exact hairstyle, that same exact thing. It's just like, and then if you don't have it, now you look down on or like and then that creates the insecurity or the resentfulness. It's just it all just like works together. So it be them phones. Go ahead, Malaya.
I wanted to answer number four because I have had people that were resentful in my life, and it just kind of gets annoying when it's like I come trying to like tell people my plans or like my accomplishments, and they're like discrediting me, or they're like, "Oh, you think you're better than me," and blah blah blah. But I'm like, I never came to you with that demeanor, so you must feel like that. But like I said, I'm a person that like when other people have their wins and stuff like that, I give them their flowers and I like to celebrate them as well. So it's like when people don't reciprocate that, it kind of gets annoying, and I just cut them off because I don't deal with jealous people. Like because I like if it was you, I would like uplift you and congratulate you. So yeah, I just get rid of them people.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Kendall.
Yeah. I feel like piggybacking off of what she had said, it's just like being able to identify when people are like projecting like resentment or like anger or like a sense of like lack when it comes to certain things. I feel like it when you're able to like identify and see that like that it's a projection of how they're really feeling, like it kind of helps you with not getting so caught up inside the moment and like just being so reactive, I would say, and being able like to just stay calm and like stay true to yourself. Because like I feel like that most people like do things for a reaction out of you, or so yeah, I feel like just being able to identify that will like help with when it comes to reacting to certain things.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate it. I'm gonna stop right here. I guess on Friday we are gonna finish this up. I really wanted to finish this today because I did have another lesson, but that's okay. It's okay because this is a lot. These are a lot of questions, and then maybe on Friday we'll get um, more people, and then they'll have different insight as well. So we're just gonna finish. We're gonna do one more call on Cain and Abel on Friday. So I hope you guys are there. Father God, thank you again for bringing us together. Thank you for constantly pouring into this community. Thank you for pouring into each and every one of us. Thank you for your gifts, the talents, the calling that you have on our lives, God. I do believe that each and every one of us has a calling. I pray that you reveal it, God, and you continue to order our steps and make the path known. I pray that you continue to lead us with your word, continue to give us new insight and revelation. I pray that you continue to guide us with your love. Help us to spread your love and your peace to others, even when we do get offended, God. I pray that you come down and you release it. You take on all of our burdens and you give us your peace. I pray that we are not easily offended. We are not easily irritable, but instead we move with grace and love and peace. I pray that we have forgiveness in our heart. We're not harboring any resent resentment, any jealousy, any bitterness, any grudges, any anger. I pray that we release it today, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.